welcome to Ludo Fine Art. Today's video, we're going to be reviewing a book that's called An Exorcist Explains the Demonic. Now, sorry about the wobbliness in the position, and if I'm hunched, it's because I am literally using my webcam on my laptop and I'm balancing it on my pillows, and I have a microphone on my bed. It's a complete shit show. My hair's not working for me today. I'm not having a good day, okay, guys? Just not having a good day. But anyway, I will be reviewing the book, An Exorcist Explains the Demonic. And I will put it over here. There we go. So, there are some things I dislike about this book, if I'm being honest. Okay, there we go. So yeah. So like any religious book that talks about anything, there's a lot of passages from the Bible, from, passages and stuff. Things that we hear all the time. You got some of those religious fanatic people that like to recite them over and over again. Cool, you do you, bruh. That's just not me. That's not how I work. But yeah, so the one thing I will say, I liked the perspective it was written in. It was by the Exorcist himself. That is an Italian priest, and the book was translated from Italian into English. And to be honest, I think they did a good job doing that. Like, spot on. Awesome sauce. But the thing I don't like about exorcism information is a lot of it is about religion. And if you don't do this or that, you're going to hell, or you're going to be possessed, or demons are going to find you and take you to hell, stuff like that. That's what I don't really appreciate about those books. But because I was raised Catholic, not anymore, because I was raised Catholic, I thought it would be interesting to read from that perspective, to see what they said and see if it was something that was similar to my experiences. Now, I'm not an exorcist yet. Maybe it's a goal I want to achieve in the future. I don't know where that's going right now. But anyway, I have been reading a lot of books on exorcism, and I wanted to look at different perspectives to see if any of them are similar and matched my perspectives, because I deal with a lot of demons. And yeah, so this book gives not only passages from the Bible, but encounters that he has had with demonic possessions. And he goes through different parts of how to get a demon or become possessed, what attracts them, yada yada yada, and how to handle them. And again, from a Catholic priest point of view, cool. But here's the thing. I will say this. Demons existed before religion. And I've been looking for books that didn't focus so much on religion. And I will tell you, that is very difficult to find. There's only one person I know who has written about these types of things that didn't, go crazy on religion. And I will admit, I loved it a lot. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, her name is Melinda K. Lyons. She's called The Last Frontier Medium. She writes books on this stuff. It's amazing, and you should definitely check it out if you are interested in demons and trying to get rid of them, or if you have any other issues with negative spirits. She's definitely the person to go to. Anyway, this review is not about her books, but eventually I will get to them because they are amazing. So anyway, back to the book. Exorcist Explains the Demonic. So, yes, he goes through his experiences of, handling possessed people. And he kind of writes a handbook on, what to do, what not to do, how to attract, what attracts them. Not really how, purposely attract them, but what attracts them. And I will say some of the information is right and I agree with. However, there are things that are bullshit. And it's just propaganda, forced down your throat by the churches. Which is why I didn't want to be so invested in religious type exorcists and exorcisms. Because the line of helping people versus jamming your religion down someone's throat kind of crosses, and I don't appreciate it. But, so let's get started with the facts that I will say are true and I have experienced myself. One thing he mentioned was drugs. Yes, drugs may attract demons. Why? Because when you are taking drugs, it lowers your psychic wall and it, makes it easier for things to target you and attack you because you don't have that protection that, keeps them from you. And it's also easier to manipulate you and do things when you're not, fully there. Number 2 he talked about, which was true, was mental illnesses. Yes, if you have a mental illness, doesn't mean, you're going to hell. No, not like that. And same with drugs. It doesn't mean you're going to hell or stuff like that. Not at all. It's more of the same reasoning behind drugs. Is because when you have mental illnesses, you kind of got a weakness and it makes it easier for them to get at you. And your psychic wall is lowered and it's just a way for them to get to you easier. And plus, when you have someone who's schizophrenic and someone that's possessed, sometimes the symptoms of both are exactly the same. Now, there are some key elements from each one that you can tell the difference, but if you are not, professionally trained in that, to the average person, you're not going to know the difference. And the other one, so we did drugs, we did illness, and then just health issues, physical health issues. And that goes with the same reasonings. You're weakened and you're not as strong as you could be to protect yourself. Now let's get to the things that were complete and utter bullshit. Abortion will not bring demons to you, and you're not going to hell. Hell, there are some reasons why people have to do it, rape, you were molested, fucked up things, yeah. So we're not going to get into the politics of that, but I'm just here to tell you that doing that will not be, yeah. You're not going to have demons knocking at your door ready to take you to hell and possess you. Not for that. Another one he talked about was having sex and messing around. Again, that's the old-fashioned stuffs in the religion. That is false. Now, let me add this, because maybe he didn't know how to phrase it, or maybe it got lost in translation, but it is possible for those who are addicted to sex that a mental illness, because that is a real addiction. So demons can prey on you and they can make that addiction worse. And that goes with any other addiction or drug issue that you have. So that could bring in demons, especially when your wall is like, struggling there, and you have an addiction to that, and that could also attract succubi and incubus, yeah. So while just messing around, here and there before marriage, you ain't gonna get a demon that way. However, if it becomes an addiction, then yes, that would make you easy prey and a target. And succubus and incubus are one of the worst demons to have attached to you and attacking you. And, yeah, not a good situation. So what was another one he said? Yoga. Now, when I read that, I kind of laughed. Not gonna lie. Yoga? What? Really? Yoga? Why? Like, I'm sure there are many different kinds of yoga programs and whatnot. You got your breathing and meditation, and you're doing your thing, and your bendy exercises and stuff. And then those who use it as an exercise and whatnot. But, like, that doesn't really bring demons to you, and it's not going to make you possessed. Now, the only thing I can think of is maybe he was saying, like, if you use that as your religion and you deny God and use that as your alternate religion, which, I don't know, can yoga be used as a religion? I think some people take it that far. So, but then no, you can't become possessed because of yoga. Now, one thing that could happen, and this could happen for anything, right, is in the location you go to, if there's a demon there because it was brought on from somebody, was attached to somebody, and then decided to go on someone else, then yeah, if there's a demon in your yoga class because it was attached to somebody else and then decides to attach to you, then yeah, you can get a demon from yoga, but you can also, like, get one from the grocery store or a graveyard or, like, school. Like, yoga? Really? Come on, man. Come on. As someone who, was raised Catholic, not anymore, but was raised Catholic, had to do the Holy Communion and Sunday school and whatnot, yoga was not one that they brought up. Though, how old was I? I think I stopped going after I turned 9 or 10 years old. But they never really talked about that. Like, yoga? What? I mean, I don't know. But I can tell you, yoga ain't gonna be bringing you demons. Now, he also said New Agers. Now, New Agers, yes and no. It depends what you consider New Age in your practices. Because you get a lot of New Agers who are like, I believe in Satanism, but not the believing in Satan, but the atheist version where it's just a philosophy, which is actually a lie. But anyway, and they're like New Agers, and they do crystals, and they do all this stuff. Then, yes-ish. Because if you're tricked into believing into Satanism, or you're a Satanist, but you only believe in the philosophy, yeah, you're in trouble. Because demons are real. I, along with so many other people, can attest to it. And you may say, well, where's your proof? Where's your proof? Have you ever seen an exorcism? Have you ever seen a person's face change? And I'm not talking about on camera while watching a movie. No, I mean like in person where they're doing the whole exorcism like ceremony, and then you have this person speaking in tongues and their face is transforms into something else that does not look human. You can't tell me that because of a mental illness that it just made that person's physical appearance change like that. I don't think so. No. You can believe what you want to believe, but demons are real and they existed before religion. So take that with what you will, I don't know. But yeah, so New Agers could attract demons depending on how you practice it. Yeah. He said in the book that mediums, because they are, how did he phrase it? It was like a mockery to God, and that, being a medium was like a slap in the face because God didn't grant you those powers. But like, God is one consciousness and is all of us, and everybody has the ability to become a medium, more or less. So that wrong? Yeah, I mean, anyone can say, well, that's your belief and what I'm saying, but like, I've seen them. They are real. It's like, to me, it's like looking at my dog. She's real. Like, it's a real thing. It's a real being. So, I mean, I guess if you just still don't believe any of it and you still think it's a philosophy, no matter what I say, it's not going to matter. I guess it's like explaining the paranormal to an atheist. Like, if they don't believe in it, they don't believe in it. The only way they're going to believe it is if they experience it for themselves. So I said New Agers. Oh, Wicca and witchcraft, he lumped them as one thing. Those things are not the same, not at all. Wicca, I think, is more about like where you obtain your power, and that's like from the earth. Whereas witchcraft is you're getting it from a being, and oftentimes the being that they use happens to be a demon or a negative entity. And so, yeah, like witchcraft can bring in the demons, especially if you're working with them. And that goes with occultism and Satanism and Luciferianism. I can never say that. But those can bring in the demons, and then, yeah, your chance or likelihood of becoming possessed is up there. You don't want to deal with that. No. I'm trying to remember everything. Like, I read it a week ago. It's hard to remember. Did we say? Oh, I did the medium thing. Yeah. No. Okay. Witchcraft, Wicca. I mean, those were the most like obscene things. Demon worship. Obviously, if you worship demons, you're gonna get a demon. Oh, tarot cards. He did mention that. Okay, yeah. So tarot cards. Yes and no, it depends on the tarot card. So if you're using demon tarot or occult tarot, yes, you're gonna get yourself a demon. And especially if they have the demon's picture on the card, that's creating that psychic connection with that demon or entity, and it's causing them to be summoned, more or less. So yeah, that was right. But regular tarot cards, no. It's a divination tool, so it works slightly differently than a Ouija board. Oh, Ouija board was another one you mentioned. that was true. So yes, you can attract demons with a Ouija board. And, you know, you get your infestation and oppression and then your influence and then your possession. Then yeah, problem. Oh, the pendulum. That works very similar to a Ouija board. And he did say that, and I did agree with that. So yes, thumbs up on that. Oh, so now let's get to like how to deal with demons, I guess. And so he used a lot of like prayer and stuff, which is well and fine if you are into the same religion as the Exorcist, because then yeah, you believe, you have your, you know, your beliefs in that, and awesome. If it works for you, perfect, happy for you. But if you're like a lot of people, especially my age, a lot of them are going to tend to go towards the atheist direction or like the Buddhist route. And a lot of them are not going to focus on religion. Now, of course, Christianity, and that includes, I guess, Catholicism, still makes up the majority of the religion of the world. I think it's like 32% of the world is that. And then you got Hinduism and then your Islam situation. So if you're Hindu and you got a Catholic exorcist, you might have a problem because that person following Hindu is going to see Shiva, for example, as their god of worship. And if you're spouting about Jesus and the god up there, I mean, Hinduism has more than one god too, so you're gonna have like a disconnect, and they're just gonna be like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. So problem. Which is why I said it's very important to have exorcists that do not heavily focus on religion. And all they really mentioned in the book was about prayers you can use to do the exorcism. And yeah, no, that again, yeah. And let's see. Now, there were passages in the book that talked about what the demons may appear as, how they look like, what they do. And that section, for the most part, seemed legit, and I can confirm a lot of what they said, like how demons can look like anyone. They have the ability to disguise themselves as even Jesus, which is freaky deaky, but they can do that. And they've impersonated angels. It sucks, but they do that. And people that you're really close to, like people that you feel safe with, they will totally disguise themselves as them. That has happened to me a few times. And they like to disguise themselves as Melinda, my brother, boyfriend has done that, parents, freaky, angels. I know they do that, but I don't think they've done that to me that I know about. Hopefully they didn't do it and I just didn't know it. But yeah, in the passages, I want to say the one about Padre Pio, he mentions how like a demon disguised himself as another like priest, but like he was able to feel the frequency was not right, and he was able to figure that out quickly. So then that was foiled. His plan was foiled. So yeah, the thing I will say that I agree with was one way to tell, you know, if a demon is impersonating someone you know, or a being. I want to say this was mentioned. I forget. I'm not sure. But if it isn't, here's a fun tip. The way you can tell if a demon is, disguising themselves as someone you know is there will be always something that's off. Just a little bit. They could look identical. Their voice can be identical. But if your body, what is it? Flight or fight instinct is, tingling and it's saying, yeah, we're scared, we need to go. Or you just get that impending doom feeling, or you're just really scared, or immediately right off the bat you question if who you're talking to is legit or not. Chances are they're probably not. And always look at the details. Like, a good example. Melinda. I come across her on the astral realm once in a while. Awesome. But I did have a few times where a demon has disguised themselves as her. And I noticed the detail that was off was her hair. Now, she's blonde, but this demon, they were blonde, and she, at the time that I saw her, she had like a streak of like brown in her hair. The demon messed that part up and got the color wrong. And that's how I knew that wasn't her. And then once I started picking that up, that's when my, spidey senses were tingling and were like, yo, this isn't her. Like, this thing is sinister. It's bad. We need to go. That's how I knew. Like, I got that feeling. And of course, then I got a few demons after me, and I was like, fuck. But anyway, yes, there's always going to be a detail that is off, and always go with your instincts. What do they tell you? Do you want to run? Are you scared? Or do you feel safe? Do you feel calm, secure, happy? If so, good. And it's always, important to test the beings you are talking to, especially if you're getting mixed signals and you can't exactly tell which way to go. Always test them. Benevolent beings will never be offended at all if you do that. In fact, they actually want you to do that to help you, protect yourself. So yes, that was good that he did talk about that. Yeah, passages from the Bible, little snippets of stories. He talked about this one person, this one case he had, and the person, I guess, was borderline mentally ill, and he wasn't sure. I wouldn't say he wasn't sure. The people did not properly diagnose the mental illness, and so it took on the form of a possession, which happens, and the vice versa happens. Like, a possession can look like a mental illness, and he did point that out, which is very important. And he does talk about, the first thing you need to do is, talk to a doctor just to make sure you're good, in here, because sometimes mental illnesses can look like demon possessions, and it's sad, and people get mistreated all the time. So, yeah, that's pretty much what the book was. If I had to give it a rating out of 5 stars, probably give it a 2.5, not quite a 3, just because of the whole religion propaganda. But I will say, if I was reading it off a Catholic mindset, if I was Catholic again, right, and I had to judge it based on the contents, probably a 5 out of 5. But because I am not Catholic anymore, I'm giving it a 2 2.5 stars. Mm, I just felt like the religion thing was being sort of jammed down my throat, and I didn't like that. And because I recorded this video a bunch of fucking times, I don't know if I said it in this version of the video or not, but the best kind of exorcism is one that is very knowledgeable about all religions, not just to tailor to the belief system of the victim that they're helping, but also it could help identify the type of entity they are dealing with. But the best kind of exorcist is one that can see on the astral realm what's going on, because they will truly know what they're dealing with and whether or not what they did got rid of it or not. Whereas if you can't and you're just like one of those normal exorcists, you'll do your whole ceremony, feel like you accomplished something, but like if the demon is really good at like hiding itself and playing you, there's a chance that you're not gonna know if what you did succeeded or not. And that's a huge problem. And a lot of times, people that were possessed become possessed again, or were never fully relieved of that possession. So I think it would be very important for someone, and also to be very knowledgeable about psychology and mental illnesses, so you can, pick apart whether it is truly demonic or a mental illness. But again, if you can see onto the astral realm, you'll know right away whether it is or not. But it's always a good backup if you can't see onto the astral realm. But yeah, that is my review of this book. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, leave them down below. I will answer them as fast as I can. I always do. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.